get to our devotion reading. Uh, that's Romans chapter 12, 1 through 8. I will be reading at verse number 1 that says, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove that is that good, that what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, that is not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God has dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as ye have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Christ, and every one members one of another. Having then gift differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy, according to the proportion of faith. Our ministry, let us wait on our ministering. He that teaches, on teaching. He that exhorteth, in exhortation. He that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. He that ruleth with diligence. He that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. That devotion reading is hitting at all of us this morning. I'm going to look, and just before we get into this, I'm going to look at Leviticus and see if we can do an outline study on our analysis of this book, since we very seldom get into it. In the book of Leviticus, we realize that this book is derived from the tribe, the Levites themselves. And we're going to accept the fact that Moses is the author of this book. Rather than for me to do an analysis on chapter 1 and then chapter 6, which we are involved with in our text this morning, we would just do some of the book of Leviticus. And the key words is access and holiness, a subject matter, a digest of divine law. And the central person, the high priest, the central theme is how can sinful man approach a holy God? And the word holy occurs over 80 times in this book. And would you believe the companion to this book is the book of Hebrews? And as we continue in the analysis, we're looking at the way of access to God, some of the things we will not get to this morning in moving through this lesson. And the way to access to God is through sacrifice and offerings and consecration. The meal offering, that is, it signifies the thanksgiving to God. That would be chapter 2, 1 and 2. And then the peace offering signifying the fellowship in chapters 7, 11 through 15. We are only prone to go through chapter 6 today. Anywhere from chapter 1 to chapter 6, that is. And then another offering will appear, and that will be the trespass offering, signifying cleansing through priestly meditation. The human priesthood, the call off, and that goes into chapter 8, 1 through 5, and that's the cleansing off. And then we look after that into the garments. Let me just say, since last week, the ordination of the priest, or the ordination of the priest we had, and that all of God's people have a chance to present themselves. And just in Bible study this past week, if y'all don't mind me mentioning Bible study, if it don't give you a 7-year itch in Bible study, just this week, God was telling us back in Exodus that you ought to give willingly. That he shouldn't have to twist your arm to give. And you find in this morning text that they are looking at different types of offerings. And our subject is offering a sweet aroma to God. Now, what they're really offering, we as humans will look at this offering that is being burned at the altar, and at the altar, that is, and say, now I wonder how God considered that as being a sweet aroma to himself. Let's kind of look at this, what it is really saying, that God knows when this sweet savor, as the St. James Version put it, and the NIV says sweet aroma. It says it's a sweet aroma, that God knows that you have worship in your heart, and anything is done in worshiping God, and God knows that he is receiving that worship, that it becomes a sweet aroma to him. And sometimes, like these devilish Israelites, we have to paint that picture as to where they were, as to what they have been done, that they really hadn't consecrated themselves to God. But in this event, we find them